This my NFL mock draft. Let's see.
Welcome to my first 2025 NFL mock draft. And with the first pick, my Tennessee Titans select... I can't believe we suck so bad that we got the #1 pick. Now, I think this ends up going either one of three ways for my Titans. I think option number 1 is pick a
quarterback, they need a quarterback, they need a tackle, edge, and a corner.
Quarterback, and that's obviously...
Go by quarterback?
Two-man race between Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. Option number 2.
Shedor's that low? Well, not that low, but like that high. I mean, I'm sorry, that high. I thought he'd be a little lower than that, but okay.
They could possibly trade down with somebody who wants to come up for one of those quarterbacks.
Lower than the Alabama QB?
Take probably Abdul Carter with the #1 pick because we need pass rush so bad. Now the question is, what do I think the Titans end up doing? I'm not going to do this mock draft based on who I think should go to each team. I'm going to base it on who I think the teams are going to pick. And I think with the #1 pick, dude,
I feel like it makes sense to Travis Hunter as cornerback. I feel like we see this every year, in my opinion. Like you see almost every Heisman winner go first round, first pick. So kind of makes sense.
Ultimately going to come down to the quarterback position. Somehow Brian
I wouldn't be shocked if they picked a quarterback though.
But he's on the hottest of hot seats going in the next season. Like the team's going to have to show tremendous improvement for him to keep his job going into the next year. I think the only way that's going to be possible is if they take a quarterback here. I mean, we saw with the Commanders.
You know what? Yeah, I think I think so too. I think they do need to go get QB, in my opinion.
On a quarterback when your team needs QB. Like, yes, I am still wearing my Will Levis jersey, but I just don't think he's going to be the guy moving forward. I think he could possibly end up being a quality starting quarterback down the line with somebody else in a different scenario. But unfortunately, the Titans don't have the luxury of waiting around right now. And to save his job, Brian Callahan is going to have to take either Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders. And personally, when I think these coaching staffs,
I don't think they'll take Shedeur.
Prospects, look at the tape. I think it is going to become obvious that the best quarterback in this draft class is Cam Ward. I think once people really start to break things down,
makes sense. Hey, Cam Ward's good, dude. Like, hey, don't be sleeping on him now.
To be obvious that Cam Ward has the better arm, he's the better athlete, he's a better playmaker. As of right now, Shedeur probably does have a little bit better accuracy than him, but Shedeur just creates so many sacks just holding on to the ball for way too long. The Titans are just too used to that with Will Levis. Like,
the Browns are next on the clock.
I just think Cam Ward is a special prospect. Not to mention, he's had to learn 3 offenses in 3 seasons at the FCS level, at Washington State, and then last season at...
he did go to different colleges, didn't he?
Miami.
I forgot.
Each season with a different team, he elevated the team around him. They got a lot better. So I think if you can draft Cam Ward, keep him in the same place, in the same system for a few years, I truly believe he can develop into a very special quarterback. And this, my friends, is where I think things start to get crazy. And we're just at pick #2. I truly, wholeheartedly believe that the Browns are not going to take another quarterback right now. Their situation is crazy, and they just can't allocate any more money to that quarterback position. So I truly believe the Browns are going to make the smart decision here and trade back with another quarterback-needy team. And as of right now, the rumors are Ben Johnson is going to be the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Even if it ends up being somebody else, I think they make the same decision.
So the Browns are going to trade their pick?
Down with Las Vegas. I don't know what it would take to move down 4 spots. Probably like 37, maybe 73, like a next year's second. That's not what's important right now. What's important is the Raiders move up, and I wholeheartedly believe this is going to be the...
That would be crazy.
Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur going to the Raiders? That's crazy. That would be a crazy pick.
Franchise. I think Shedeur
it wouldn't be a bad pick either. I think that would be a good fit for him. They just need to get they probably just need to get some receivers.
especially if they do end up hiring Ben Johnson. That takes us to the New York Giants at pick number
Giants.
3.
Oh, is this when they
Comes down
take
to two
Trevor's?
players. I think it's
I'm
probably pretty
surprised
obvious that
the
it's either
first
gonna be
two picks
Travis
haven't
Hunter
picked
or
Trevor's
Abdul
yet.
Carter. And this is gonna be tough, dude, because Travis Hunter, obviously a generational prospect. Who knows if he's gonna play both ways in the NFL? Abdul Carter, one of the
Do they need a
best
DB?
pass
Oh, they
rushers
do
we've
need a
seen in
DB.
a long time. I don't even think it's close that he's above and beyond every other pass rusher in this draft, which is a take for sure, because this is one of the best edge drafts we have seen in a long time. There's gonna be a lot of really, really good pass rushers
I
drafted at
mean,
the end of the first
I wouldn't be
round,
mad if they
early
do take
second.
an
I mean,
edge
I think
rusher,
we
bro. I
could
feel like
see
they mostly
maybe,
need DBs.
7, 8, 9 edge rushers drafted in this first round. But at the end of the day, I do not believe the Giants pass up on Travis Hunter. I feel like it just fits Travis
Yeah,
Hunter
for the
and New
first
York.
three
I think
picks,
the
you
New York
you
Giants
can't pass
will
up.
be
You
above
can't
the
pass up
moon
on
with
them.
this
You can't.
selection, which takes us to the New England Patriots at pick
Ooh,
number
now
4.
this would be
They're a
this could be
team as well with
interesting.
the new head coach Mike Vrabel. Makes me sad as a Titans fan, but they're a team that has so many different needs, and this first pick is probably going to be decided on like what
They need
do in
everything.
free agents, depending like
Damn
who
near.
they add at what positions. They have a ton
It's
of
like
money. They have
QB.
the most
QBs,
cap
I
space
think
in
they're
the NFL
actually
going into
good
free
at.
agency. I
Drake
think
May's
this
gonna
is
be
gonna
good.
come down to probably like 2-3 players. I think obviously Abdul Carter is definitely on the cards here. McMillan out of Arizona, probably easily the number 1 receiver in the draft. They also obviously need offensive line help.
Is he really the
It's
number
really a
one,
strong tackle
like,
class? I know Will Campbell's listed as a tackle,
in the
but he has really short
like
arms.
draft
He's probably gonna
class?
end up playing guard in the league. I think if this was a good tackle class, the Patriots would be going tackle here, but they need a
Tackle?
number 1 receiver for the young quarterback Drake May. And I think
They
McMillan
do.
is going to be the selection there.
They do need an O-line
This
too.
class for
Well,
sponsoring today's
nope.
and on the pick for playoff need right now. They need a guy
Here we
like
go.
Mason Graham. I feel like just the
So moral of the
better
story,
fit for the
Patriots
Jags and
get
what
a
they need
receiver,
right
which I
now.
wouldn't
They
be
need a
mad
guy like
at. They do
Mason
need
Graham.
some,
Mason Graham, I have him
you
going
know,
5
some
to the Jags.
weapons.
I feel like that's probably one of the most obvious picks yet. They also
Who
could
the
go with
Jags need?
Johnson. So I really think like you kind of disregard Abdul Carter.
Center,
I think it's come down
guard,
to Mason Graham or Will
inside
Johnson. And I
defensive
think,
player,
like, they could go
defensive
either way,
line.
but I think it's just come down to Mason Graham, which this is
Ooh,
the
Mason
absolute
Graham.
perfect scenario for the Cleveland Browns. If they're not going to go quarterback, they probably wanted Abdul Carter in the first place. They could have just went ahead and taken him at 2 instead of trading down. This is every Browns fan's fantasy, getting like a few second-round picks, a third-round pick out of trading down, and also landing Abdul Carter at the same time, having him and Myles Garrett in the same.
Dang, so they get a Abdul Carter?
Nuts. And the Jets at pick number 7. I do believe this is where we're going to see the first tackle drafted off the board. And again, it's not gonna be Will
QB,
Campbell.
D tackle, QB.
Probably go in like the early teens, possibly.
Honestly, I feel like they do need a QB because Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is playing next year, most likely it's gonna be his last year. So honestly, I might go QB here. That's just me.
Gonna go number 1
They need
tackle
someone
on the
young.
board, and I believe that's gonna end up
Or
being
tackle.
Kelvin Banks out of Texas. I think he has all pro potential.
Tackle.
Again, it's a
They
rather
probably they
weak
need some
tackle
O-line too.
class. Like I think he'd be behind like Joe Walt. He'd been behind.
But something tells me I
Olaf
feel
Ashton,
like
right behind Olaf Ashton, who was
if not their first round, at least the second round, they should pick a QB.
But still, like quality tackle. I think the Jets would be over the
Like
moon
Will
to have him.
Will
Protect
Howard. I feel like Will
quarterback
Howard could go there.
next season. That brings us to the Panthers, and they're in a position to really just take best player available. I could see them taking a
Exactly.
wide receiver. Like if McMillan had fell to them, they'd probably take him there. But I think Luther Burthen's going to fall a little bit, probably in the middle of the first round. I don't think he's going to go top 10. It's not really an overly strong wide
I say just get a
receiver
D
class.
lineman.
It's good, like middle of the round guys. There's a
They
lot
need
of
a good
guys
D
like
lineman.
that in that
I
range
see
that
my
could end up
friend's
being
cousin,
quality.
Wyatt
A lot of, like,
Mill-
top tier talent. at the wide receiver
Millium.
position. So I think they just go best player available, and I think that's Will Johnson
Really?
right now. Pair him up with J.C. Horn, and the Panthers have one of the best DB duos in the league. That brings us to the Saints.
Okay.
Pick number 9, and brother, they are in a predicament. They literally need absolutely everything. Like they go wide receiver.
Yeah, the
they
Saints
go tight end.
fall
They
off
also
is
need help
crazy.
on the defensive line, and you know who I feel like is probably a dark horse here. He's probably like, where even is he? Oh, there he is, Mykel Williams. It's like he's one of those guys that everybody is gonna fall in love with in the pre-draft process. He's an athletic freak. He might not have put up the numbers that you really expected from a guy who can go top 10, but we've seen that in the past. Like people just fall in love with the athletic traits of pass rushers. And I don't know, this feels like a Mykel Williams pick to me. Like I definitely could see them going maybe Malachi Starks. They could go.
Oh,
like
no.
I said, they
Oh,
could go
shoot.
Kyle
No one's
Warren,
picked
too. They got
Genty
actually a
yet.
Pretty nice pick for him, but I think they're gonna go edge rusher, and I think that pick is gonna be Mykel Williams out of Georgia. Because that brings us to the
Edge,
Chicago
I
Bears,
guess.
and their team that I think they're
Running back,
It's
ooh.
offensive line.
They-
The question is, do you go ahead and take Will Campbell here, who is an incredible
Will Campbell?
offensive
Did
lineman? I just don't
take
think
a
he's the best
O-line?
tackle in the league. Like Josh Simmons could be in play here. I just think
Honestly, do they have a good running back? I can't think of one. I can't think of a good running back for the Bears. So I feel like, in my opinion, they should take a running back.
think
Jake
even
Genty.
tackle out of Missouri could be in play here, but I think this might be a spot where Will Campbell goes. Like, yes, he's probably gonna play guard, but he has all
O-line helps
from,
too,
like,
I guess,
day
but
one.
I
So
feel
don't
like
think Bears fans should be mad at this pick. We're going Will Campbell.
Eh,
That brings us to the 49ers.
no one's
Another team that's
taken
offensive
Genty
line
yet.
help. And I'm sitting here like looking at the players
in
available.
in
Like,
his
Malachi
prediction.
Stark still being here is incredible. Like, he's an insane safety. I just don't know. Like, you just don't see safeties in the top
Malachi.
10 that often. Like, I don't think he's gonna be in play here though. It's just crazy. He's still remaining. Same thing with Ashton Genty. But I think the offensive line help pretty bad. Trent Williams, obviously, never know if he's gonna
Yeah, maybe
retire. I think
some
the
linemen.
obvious 49ers pick here is Josh Simmons.
Running
from
back's still
Ohio State.
good.
Need offensive line, and he's probably
Yeah.
like the best tackle still on the board. That brings
He
us
is
to
pretty
what I
good.
think
I've
is
heard
one
of
the
him.
most obvious picks in this draft yet. We
Okay,
don't
now
know who the
they go
Cowboys
Genty,
coach is
right?
gonna be this next season.
They do
I
need a
don't
running
think it
back.
really matters. They don't
Bengals
have
need
running
a
back under
need a
contract
line.
next season.
Yeah,
Dowdle's a free agent. Who knows if they get
probably a
him on.
guard. Yeah, I'll say
Ashton
guard.
Genty to the
A good,
Cowboys
like a new
would
guard.
break the freaking NFL, dude.
Ashton Genty to the Cowboys. How y'all feel about that?
This
Now, in my opinion of what I think the Bengals need, yes, we do. I feel like we need a new guard because Folston has not been doing good. Like, for some reason, he can get better, but some like this season just wasn't it for him.
situation.
I feel like we should also get a new edge rusher because I feel we're not gonna sign Sam Hubbard.
Dude, he might would break
Sam
the
Hubbard's gonna
record
be
for rookie jersey sales
somewhere
the
else.
First freaking week. He is just
So in my
such
we
an
could either get a guard or a
dude. I don't care
edge
what
rusher.
you say about the competition he went up against. He is a generational running back, probably the best. I'm taking a running back this high. Lions did it with
Wait, why they just
back, probably
cut-
the best. I'm taking a running back
Why they just cut off like that?
this high. Lions.
Now what'd you say? Don't say best tackle Wyatt Mail I'm sorry. I can't say that name. Has not let up a sack in 3 years. Dang. That is true. I forgot the Ohio State tackle wasn't bad either. I don't know if he let up any sacks either. So I don't know.
Completely on his own, transform that Cowboys offense. Now, pick number 13 with the Dolphins. Like, depending what happens with Tyreek Hill, dude, like they definitely could go.
Tyreek Hill's gonna leave
Miami.
Miami.
Holland is a free agent. Malachi Starks is just sitting there, dude. He's just like talent-wise, he's a top 10 player. I think the
Hey,
Dolphins
build
are
up that
gonna have to take
defense.
him. Like, this is one
Yeah,
of the
build
picks
up
that
that
makes the
defense.
most sense so far. That takes us to the Colts, dude, and this worries me because I really feel like the Colts here would go one
Colts.
way, and I think unfortunately
Tight end,
because that
edge,
one, he's
DB.
such a good tight end.
Who's he haven't taken?
Not on the level as Brock
Tyler
Bowers,
Warren?
but not as far behind as Brock Bowers as you might
Hmm.
believe. I was scared the Colts were going to get Brock Bowers last year. They didn't.
That's number
Tyler Warren
44,
Tyler
right?
Warren again.
Yeah, it
Like,
is. I
somebody
knew
could
it.
Trade up for. Like, somebody could trade up for
He ain't
like,
bad. He's
on
actually, dude, he's
9
pretty
to the
good.
Saints here. I think the Colts and their fan base would be over the moon to get Tyler Warren.
That's a
Takes us
good
to the
pick.
Falcons, who do need like a plethora of positions here. Like Luther Burden again, I don't think he's really. He has so much potential. I just don't know if he's a top 10 player. And the question is, like, do the Falcons go receiver? Like,
I will
pair up
send you
somebody
a
super
pick
solid with
from all the signings I got on my
Drake
shirt.
London for young Michael Penix to throw to? I don't think so. I think they go
From
with
West
a prospect
Virginia?
that a lot
From
of
all the
people
West
are
Virginia
falling in love
players?
with in the pre-draft process. I believe that's gonna be Jalen Walker, linebacker out of Georgia.
Ooh,
He's one of those, like,
linebacker?
Micah Parsons type, either play in the box, can play in the D line, can rush the passer. He's just
All right. Hey, build up that defense. I like that. Bengals are look after the Cardinals. The Bengals are next. I really wonder who he's gonna give the Bengals. I'm so interested.
Offensive line or the defensive line, and the one player that really stands out to me here.
That's like either O line or D line for the Cardinals
Was an
also.
absolute dog on the interior, like helped Michigan last season in
Right.
the national championship. That front seven was insane. I think this is a perfect
most of.
spot for him in Arizona.
Yeah.
It takes us to the Bengals here. And
Ooh,
this
okay,
is
so they
another
Cardinals get
pick that I
D-line.
think really comes down to what happened.
Listen, hear me out. Ooh, we do have that dude from Texas A&M, so I won't mind getting him either. But hear me out. Jack Sawyer. Jack Sawyer. He just reminds me of a young Sam Hubbard when he was playing. He was so good. I won't mind if he takes Jack Sawyer. I feel like that's what we're gonna do just because he's a Ohio person. He's a Ohio guy. But hey, who knows? Let's see what happens.
Happens with T. Higgins, which I do believe, as much as a Titans fan, I want T. Higgins to come to Tennessee. Grow up in Tennessee, was a
Right.
Titans fan growing up, so it could potentially.
And to be honest, even if we don't sign T. Higgins, we got plenty of other receivers in my opinion. So I don't think we would have to worry too much about the receiver position.
Happen. Don't scream at me for that. But I think it's going to disappoint me because he's going to stay in Cincinnati. They're not going to let him leave. And in that scenario,
I feel like that would happen too. I feel like T. Higgins would stay in Cincinnati, but I'm just saying, if he does leave, it it would affect us like a little bit, but it wouldn't be a big problem because we got plenty of really good receivers like Yoshi Fosh. You know what I'm saying? Or Burton, who is still a rookie and he can develop.
they're going to have to probably go either interior offensive line or maybe get somebody to help out that pass rush. Like
Facts, dude.
Jack Sawyer could be a guy here.
That's
Also,
what I'm saying.
James Pierce. He has fell so far. There's
Ooh, and he's kind of skinny for an edge rusher.
a great chance he gets picked a lot higher than this. Honestly,
Remember, Garrett Green is a receiver in the draft, best receiver in the class, LMAO.
dude, he's like, I know they have him ranked at like 30 for some reason here. No, he's the top 15 player, and him falling to 17 is insane. James Pierce
Dang, the Bengals pick him? I don't know about that, but
is going to be the pick. He's just too good to keep falling. It takes.
True. I mean, hey, to be honest, I don't think I've seen his highlights before. But if he says he as good as he is, then I'm put
So the Seahawks here, who
I'ma trust his word.
Offensive line help, they could use some help in the front seven as well as a lot
Bengals
of these teams
picking
do. Like I said, there's gonna be a lot of
James Pierce
Jr.
Jr.
Probably a lot more to go here the second half of this first round. But I do think they get help on the offensive line, and I think the best offensive line prospect left in this draft is Armand Mimbu out of Missouri.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
smart.
could play
Get
guard,
O
but I do
lineman.
believe
That's
he's
smart.
best at tackle. Guy is incredible. He's a guy also that could go top 15. He might be one of those guys that just nobody really expects, and he ends up going like top 10. So I think the Seahawks would be ecstatic to get here.
Where would Jack Sawyer go
Pick
to
number 19
then?
here, Buccaneers. I think this is where the fall ends for Nick.
Edge linebacker. Yeah, they need defensive
Super
players.
athletic. He's not even gonna be 21 years old at the draft. I break out.
Like I wouldn't mind if we got him either. That would have been a good pick either way. If we got the dude from Texas A&M or Jack Sawyer. Sawyer. Sorry, can't say his name.
You know what happens with Chris Godwin, and this could potentially be where Luther Burden's fall ends. Boy, I feel like Nicholas is gonna be the pick here. He's not gonna fall out of the top 20. Now,
yeah, the good pick.
This, my friends, is where Luther Burden could potentially be picked. Number 20 to the Denver Broncos. What? My predicament. What's gonna happen? Matthew Golden.
We're gonna get Ohio State receiver.
Very easily past Luther Burden on the draft boards. Guy had an incredible playoff run. Super talented. Texas best receiver by a long margin. Which saying a lot because they did have Isaiah Bond. Also, Mika Igbukka could be in play.
Mika Igbukka.
But I am going to be boring. I think they're going to take Luther Burden. I think he'll be an incredible fit there. And Bo Nix is going to be loving life. I think Denver
that's crazy.
fans will be so happy with this one. And speaking of receiver, I feel like this is such an obvious pick. Steelers at 21.
QB, receiver. Who they need? What are their needs? QB, receiver, DB. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now I feel like they should pick a receiver.
Comes off the board.
Yeah, now they're going to pick him.
What was that? Was that the 2023 draft? Like we had, what, 5 receivers?
I don't think he's going to be a Steeler, though.
Back within like a 5-6 pick span. Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson.
I don't see him as a Steeler.
See shades of that here in this 2025
Definitely
draft.
any different team, but just not a Steeler.
Going to the Steelers, perfect fit. Whoever their quarterback is, probably Russell Wilson next year, is going to be happy. That takes us to the Los Angeles Chargers. And like, who
Los Angeles Chargers.
What like Harbaugh's going to
take
do here?
Ollie
I think
Gordon.
without a shadow of a doubt, if somehow, some way Tyler Warren fell here, he would be the pick. And I think we all hope that doesn't happen.
He's all the way down.
Not be good for the NFL because Tyler Warren would put up Brock Bowers numbers. I wouldn't be shocked if they went edge. They like need running back, but there's so many good running backs in this draft class. I don't think another running back.
Scottaboo? Is that Scottaboo?
There's so many.
Scottaboo. Hey, honestly, if he's going somewhere in the NFL, most likely he'll be more of a second string, rotation of running back.
Good running backs in this draft.
For a team that drafts him, that's what I think is going to happen. He'll be like he'll definitely be like a second string.
I wouldn't be shocked if when Jack Sawyer, remember Khalil Mack.
I don't know. They need a running back, receiver, tight end, and edge.
That could be
You
retiring.
think they go edge
Jamar
here?
Stewart could be in play
Edge
here,
rusher?
but I do think they go ahead and grab themselves a tight end. That's gonna be
Ooh, a
Colston
tight
Loveland
end?
out of Michigan, and he might be even more of a
Ooh.
prototypical Harbaugh tight end than Tyler
Okay.
Warren. He is just such a good run blocker. I mean, that's not to say Tyler Warren isn't a good run blocking tight end. Don't get me wrong there, but I don't know. I just feel like Colston Loveland just fits that Harbaugh tight end mold. I think he'd be over the moon. I mean, obviously,
All right.
Michigan guy, so Harbaugh has.
Yeah, it makes sense too because he
I just
coached
feel like
for
this pick
Michigan.
makes so much sense. It takes us to the Packers. They could use a little bit of everything.
Ooh,
Like,
Packers,
maybe
what they
consider
need?
maybe
Receiver,
Bonnie
center,
I'm gonna
edge,
take receiver.
corner.
Maybe go cornerback. Benjamin Moore.
Uh,
He could be a middle first round.
I don't
guy.
think they'll
Also,
take
top
corner
second
here.
round
I don't think they
receiver.
will.
Tyreek Williams could possibly be in play here. Honestly, I'm sitting here trying to decide between three players. Barron out of Texas. He just declared for the draft.
Oh shoot, go for another receiver maybe.
He's
What
insane.
O-line?
Skyrocket up boards here. Jack Sawyer possibly, but you know,
Maybe
what?
edge,
He's
yeah,
gonna
but
be
I
the
don't.
team that
I really
also
don't know
loves
about corner.
Shamar Stewart. Guy that hasn't really produced that much in college. He's a great run defender, incredible size. Something's just telling me this is a perfect fit. That takes us
Yeah.
to the Vikings here, and I think the
Who are the
number
Vikings
one
gonna
glaring
get?
need is going to be cornerback. They also need interior offensive line very bad, but I just don't think there's really anybody that you can just really expect to plug and fill at guard right now. Like, nobody want to use a first round pick. They can get probably a guard in second round. So to me, this comes down to either Benjamin Morrison, Barron from Texas, or Siobhan Ravel out of East Carolina, which is such an interesting prospect, dude. He's 6'3", probably would run a 4.3 40. But the problem is he tore his ACL at the beginning of this last season.
Oh, he
So, like, I don't know if
did?
he's gonna be healthy,
Dang.
but if he is and has an incredible combine, he's one of those guys that could shock you, end up being the number one corner off the board just based off his athletic traits. But
Oh, so all of this was before the
the guy I feel like
what's it
shock you,
called?
end up being the number one corner off the board just based off. If he is and has an incredible combine, he's one of those
What's it
guys that
called?
could shock you, end up being the number one corner off the board just based off his athletic traits. But the guy
Yeah.
I feel like is the best corner left is me, Barron out of Texas. Guy had an incredible season, incredible playoff run, and I feel like
I wouldn't be.
love
I
to
wouldn't
have him in
be
that secondary. That takes us
shocked
to
if
the
they get go
Texans at pick
corner.
number
They do.
25. I
They
think
do
this
need
is
some
an
defense.
obvious one. What was the Texans' biggest problem down the stretch at offensive line? Let CJ Stroud down so
Offensive- yeah,
bad.
offensive
I'm
line
just
was
gonna
pretty
go
mid.
best offensive lineman on the board.
Senior
There's still
Bowl.
some good ones left. Like, honestly, dude, Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia, he could end up being a top 15 guy. I don't know if he falls out of the first round. He's incredible, an incredible tackle. I think he's gonna be at the Senior Bowl. I'm excited to watch him there. But at the same time,
I wasn't thinking
feel like
Senior
Josh
Bowl.
Connolly is gonna be the guy here. But again, I could be proven wrong. Like, I think, either of these guys, Texans fans will be happy.
Tackle?
They go Josh Connolly here. They need the offensive line bad, and they get it. Now the Rams here, another team.
Maybe they
that
can
could go
switch him to
many
guard.
Different directions, man. Like, they obviously
So
need
Rams
some
again,
corner
tight
help.
end,
Need it for a
tackle,
couple times. They could use
linebacker.
wide receiver too. They obviously too could use tight end. They tried to trade up for Brock Bowers last year. Like,
I don't know about
honestly, it would not
linebackers. I say get a
shock if, like,
linebacker
something
or
crazy
tight end.
happened and
They do
Harold
need a tight
Landry
end
got picked
too.
here in the first round. This is probably my favorite tight end.
Either tight end or
Tyler
linebacker.
Ward's probably like he's the better player. I think this guy has insane.
Ooh, this guy from Bowling
He's so
Green.
underrated as a run blocker. Everybody, that's his not. Like,
Oh,
he led the country in
shoot, that
receiving
is
yards
the-
as a tight
he
end,
is a
not
tight
run
end.
blocker. Watch
He
the
looks.
tape.
He does
He's
look
not
like a
that
receiver.
bad,
He
but
looks like a
run
receiver
blocker. So
though.
if Harold Fannin ends up getting taken in the first round, dude. RBT told you so. So I'm just
Dude.
saying, dude, don't be surprised if the Rams need a tight end bad for that offense. They want the Harold Fannin here. Mason Taylor's great too. This is a really, really.
I would
good
like to
tight end
see
class.
a,
But no, I don't think Harold Fannin goes here, but I wouldn't be shocked. I think this is where the fall of Benjamin Morrison ends. They're gonna go corner.
Mac team get drafted first round.
I think they need some help on defense. Whether it be the second.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Get a corner, dude.
Like, this could be where I see.
Get a
Ravel
corner,
go,
bro.
but at the
Get a
end of the day,
corner.
I think they end up going edge. Now the question
Going
is, Jack
edge?
Sawyer, Landon Jackson, JT, could be Mike Green out of Marshall.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. But I feel like they need corners, dude. Their corners is not that good.
I think I'm actually going Landon Jackson here. It's an
Landon
incredible
Jackson?
Arkansas guy, 6'7", 280. Incredible run defender off the edge. Amazing pass rush.
You know what?
potential. Landon Jackson,
That's a good
I
pick.
think goes over Jackson.
He even looks crazy. Look at him.
If not as athletic enough, Jackson
Now, who
is a
the-
great player. Could end up being an all-pro. But I
Please
just
don't
think
go to
some
Ravens.
teams are gonna
No,
be
don't go
worried
to
about the
Ravens.
combine. Now here with the Ravens, they could need.
It wouldn't be a
tackle.
bad
Ronnie
pick,
Stanley
though.
is probably going to be a free agent. They probably could use edge as well, but I feel like tackle is probably the bigger need.
Tackle?
The big question is who. Oh, probably.
Oh, they do
Ryan
need a
Hill. Oh,
tackle, yeah.
absolutely. They would be
Ooh.
so
Hey, James, this is your guy. James, this your guy right here.
So happy if he fell to him.
Wyatt
God, this is an
Mullum.
incredible pick for the Ravens here. It brings us to the
That's a good pick. I'm not even gonna lie to you. James, how you feel about this pick?
Buffalo
Wyatt going to the Ravens.
Bills, and honestly, I have one guy in mind here. It could go pass rush.
Who the
it could go
Bills
wide
can get.
receiver. Honestly, Matthew Golden here could be kind of perfect, but this is a guy.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, like the Bills receiving core is not bad, but they can still build that up. You know what I mean? So
I do.
I won't be mad if they get a receiver or edge rusher.
It's taken in the first round. This will probably surprise some of you guys. I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but just watch. I don't know if he's gonna go in the
Go by
Bills.
linebacker?
Fit here, but I think somebody's gonna take him in the first.
F Ravens, he would like the Bengals more. I asked him, really? He'll like to play for the Bengals more? That's crazy.
First round.
But hey, that wouldn't be a bad pick for the Ravens to get him.
Those shockers. Jahad Campbell out of Alabama. Oh my gosh, as an Alabama fan, I've loved watching this guy play. All around linebacker. Can do whatever you need him to do. Great tackler, decent in coverage. I feel like this would be an incredible.
Yeah, not bad pick. Okay, not bad pick.
Buffalo Bill defense takes us to the Eagles here. Who's
three more picks.
Pick, they are so good. They're so talented.
Honestly, I feel like now you should draft Jack Sawyer.
The best player available. And call me crazy, but I really do believe the
Friday
best
I sprained
this
my
draft
right
as of
ankle.
right
Oh really,
now
dude?
is
Oh
defensive
my,
end
I'm so
Mike
sorry.
Green out of Marshall. He has untapped potential.
They're going
to Eagles
pick a guy from Marshall.
This is a guy probably 2-3 years in a line could be one of those defensive ends that get 2 sacks a season. That's how good Mike Green is. All pro potential. The Chiefs here, don't even get me started, brother. Like they're.
I feel like the Chiefs are just gonna draft a random player because they don't need
so good.
New players.
Like, they could go wide receiver.
I say if I was them, I'd go by tackle, but because they're like, dude, their tackles are not good. They hold, but somehow get away with it. So like, if I was them, I'd get a tackle right here.
Probably not. Like they've shown they can have 10 to tap man out there at freaking wide receiver and still win the Super Bowl. So we'll probably go with a bigger position of need, and a bigger position of need for the Chiefs here.
It's a tackle.
Probably on the defensive line. I believe that's gonna be Tyreek Williams. Like he's a guy that
Tyreek Williams and Jack Sawyer's not even drafted yet.
Good. So for him falling to 31, I think that Chiefs front office would be very, very happy. And that takes us to the Detroit Lions.
Oh, okay. Now I feel like they'll pick Jack because they do need another. They do need another edge on the other side.
Last pick of the first round. I think somebody's just gonna love his intangibles. Like he's a guy they're just gonna love to add to the culture of a team. I feel like he fits perfectly in that.
Teams are gonna love him more.
Him on one side, Aiden Hutchinson.
The Oregon, yeah, that got taken, got run.
On the other, oh my God,
What
that
the
would
heck?
put fear straight into the eyes of the opposing quarterbacks. So this, my friends, is my first 2025 NFL mock draft. Let me know how much you hated your favorite team's pick of mine in the comment section below, and also let me know who you.
I mean, I guess I don't mind the edge rusher, but I feel like we could have gotten either Jack or that guy from Texas A&M. But not a bad draft. Mock draft, not a bad one. But if there's one thing we learned about NFL draft picks, they are so unpredictable. You never know when a team's gonna make a terrible pick or a pick that's unexpected. So, hey, we'll see when it comes to draft night. Yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out.